What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. Okay, you FBA have gone too far. You foundational black Americans have gone too far, okay? I made a video shitting on white supremacy, okay? It was black folks versus white supremacy. Do you know who came in my comment section defending white supremacy? FBA. They were telling me, while I was talking shit about white mailmen, all right, about Charlie Kirk, why did FBA come in my comment section saying, well, how about you worry about what's happening in Nigeria with the Azoro Grape Festival? I'm like, first of all, that's the wrong video. You're supposed to find me talking shit about FBA and then say that in that comment section. You go into a video where I'm talking shit about actual white supremacists, right, who mean to do us black people harm, and you defending white supremacy. Yeah, you just showed your colors, all right? So, since you want to do all that, now I got time. I mean, I always got time. That's the thing about it. That's what y'all hate. Y'all hate that I got so much time to talk shit up about you hateful ass xenophobic hate group that want to pretend like you're a lineage, right? Your lineage go way back to 2022, March 13th, when Tariq Nasheed came up with name and then trademarked that shit. That's your lineage, all right? But anyway, your boy Tariq Nasheed is a true pimp. Let me give props what props is due, all right? Tariq Nasheed might be one of the longest lasting pimps in American history. He is hanging on successfully, right? Pimping the shit out of you stupid, ignorant, uneducated, weirdo African Americans that are pariahs to your own individual communities. None of y'all got friends, and none of y'all got lives, because a lot of y'all got panels where y'all go live for like 3-4 hours. I'm like, what goddamn black person that got a life got 4 hours? 4 to be online talking shit and not really saying anything and not doing a good job of talking shit. All right, that's the number one, right? I understand y'all guys say Tariq Nasheed is not your leader, all right? But he is your influence. He is the number one FBA. He is the owner of FBA. He is your God and your Savior. He is your Messiah, even though y'all say he's not the leader, right? But he's also your pimp, all right? And he has pimped you into funding his next project. He pimped the shit out y'all, all right? This dude got a GoFundMe for his movie. And he met the goal too, $250,000. He got you niggas for $250,000 so he can give you some AI slop trash, right? With a bunch of cornball ass YouTubers to fill in the blank. This dude literally sit a chair down at a studio with a couple good angles, interview a few people, give you a whole bunch of AI slop shit, and he need $250,000 for that. He done gave you a preview. The goddamn Hidden Color 6 is already done. The shit's already done. It's already done, but yeah, he still needs $250,000 from you idiots. And y'all gave it to him too. Hey, look. He is a true pimp, I got to say. I mean, he said he was a pimp. He was one of the number one pimps in the world, all right? He wrote a book on the game. Remember that shit? So he diversified. He went from pimping women, right, or little girls, little underage girls, because remember in that book he wrote, you know, he was teaching people how to spot underage women, right? Underage little girls to see which one's gonna be hoes, because you know that's where he started off. Look, elementary school, high school. You know, he taught he the number one dude in the game, right? So he diversified. He said, you know, why pimp just these little teenagers when I can pimp the dumbest black people in the community? And he sure enough did. And all you idiots who didn't have any pride in yourselves all of a sudden found the pride to be a black American in 2022 as soon as he came up with FBA after he stole it from Beekman, from the Muppets, goddamn Yvette Carnell. Because you know that's what she looked like, right? She looked like Beekman. Y'all remember Beekman? Huh? Y'all remember that? Tell me Yvette Carnell don't look like Beekman. All right, y'all know she looked like Beekman. But anyway, since Yvette Carnell was not cool at all, and you know, Matt K. Flex is a pimp. He got those pimping skills. He decided to pimp y'all idiots. And y'all idiots continue to get his fool money, right? Hold up. Y'all give him money on the GoFundMe, right? And then when it come out, you still got to pay to see it. Come on, bro. None of y'all get a free copy. You don't get no Blu-ray. I bet you all your FBA got DVDs in your house, don't y'all? Y'all still got TiVos, don't y'all? Y'all still got Comcast, don't y'all? I bet you got a box where you press A and B to go from 2 different sides of the TV. I bet y'all still got antennas on the TV with goddamn aluminum foil and shit. That's how retarded you guys are. I'm pretty sure, right? And y'all looking forward to that Blu-ray, ain't you? That DVD he gonna send out to y'all after you pay again. All right, so you guys are so stupid. You fund some shit that you still gotta pay after you finish done. Dude, Tariq is a genius. He gonna spend 10 G's on this goddamn documentary, right? He gonna pocket the other $240,000. That's how he pays his bills off you dumbasses. And hey, look, you dumbass, if y'all gonna keep giving him money, I mean, he gonna keep doing it. I mean, shit, he done did the shit. How many times? We on number 6. You know, we give him the first one, all right? The first one, right? We give him the first. And then hold up. If you check it out, he keep using the same mofos for the damn documentary. He used my aunt, who's supposed to be a Pan-African, by the way. He using all these Pan-Africans in his videos by telling you that Pan-Africanism ain't shit. That's the funny part about it. His Hidden History Donut Shop got a whole bunch of Pan-Africans in it, right? And a bunch of African shit in it while he telling y'all F Africans. He going on vacation to Africa, right? Having a good ass time while telling y'all dumbasses not to go to Africa, don't deal with Africans, while he dealing with Africans. You guys are truly getting pimped. You got some FBA, some hoes. Y'all some straight hoes. And he said, give me my motherfucking money. All right, but anyway, African Americans don't rock with FBA. African diaspora, African Caribbeans, African continental Africans. African Americans don't rock with FBA. They are a super minority of idiots. A super minority of uneducated fools. They are a product of American educational system. These guys did not go to all of their classes when they were in school, I guarantee you. Most of these guys don't have high school diplomas, all right? And they clearly don't have jobs because they be on, like I said, they'll be on TikTok and live for like 4-5 hours and saying absolutely nothing, loud as shit, and still sounding ignorant. Anyway, without further ado, let me go ahead and put all this information here so I can talk more shit about FBA. Because y'all clowns and fools, and y'all still don't even know how to delineate. Like, y'all still don't know how to delineate. Because y'all all up in my comment section, when I'm talking about white supremacy, here y'all go defending white supremacy. How make that make sense? Huh? Anyway, without further ado, this Afro think tank, learn something, teach something. I'm out.
Look at this. Somebody come look at this.
Look what you do with the ladies. Yeah, but I wasn't doing anything illegal, just macking as far as going to the club and spitting game. I wasn't doing anything nefarious, so there's nothing to really explain as far as that end. But the thing is, my books were just about dating and relationships. See, a lot of people who try to deliberately throw salt on what we're doing with the Hidden Color series, they'll try to say that my books was about pimping. And I've never written a book about pimping because I've never pimped anybody. I've never talked about doing that in any of my books.
A lot of young guys, I'm a pimp, I'm a pimp, I'm a pimp. But you can tell in the attitude. I even wrote a book on the game, man. I got a book. I'm one of the 5 pimps in history to actually have a book about the game. That's why I'm so well known around the country, besides my impeccable pimping skill.
Okay.
So the next one is none other than Tariq Nasheed, the great FBA. Everybody already knew about him. So the funny thing is, he did a decent job with 1804, and this is when you know, when you are part of the fraternity, once you do something good that might be able to wake the masses, then they're gonna bring you to the table and like, what are you doing? You gotta, matter of fact, you're gonna have to backpedal on this. And this is when we witnessed the 360 deal, the 360 about this brother. And then next thing you know, he started the xenophobic activities and telling you, oh no, we are foundational Black Americans. Matter of fact, everybody else shouldn't be here. But within the same process of telling you he's an FBA, mean foundational Black American, you still want a paycheck from his master because he tell you he was a slave for his master. So the same theory, how is he trying to tell you he's foundational? Well, if he was telling you that we were the indigenous people and we were a part of an empire, then I would not have no argument. But the fact that he's trying to say that we were the one building America as slaves keep the massa on top of them, telling them, yes, we need to check because we work for massa, prove to you that it's all part of the grand agendas and the game to keeping you believe that you are part of a less, that you are a society, you know, always a second-class citizen because it's still the same part of the agenda, asking massa about things when massa couldn't give you shit because he never was in charge in the first place. So this is the same thing as Umar, when you get to find out his name is not even Tariq, his name is Marcus Sanders. They have this article allegedly put on his name saying that he was convicted of a capital murder. So again, these are people that they have dirt on them. So this straight up blackmail, and this is why I always believe the way that he backpedaled right after 1804, and when he bring a lot of people, like all of his Hidden Color at one point was doing some good job as far as bringing our people together, even though it was still dealing with African base, but it still have a core aspect of bringing more people to seek out for some truth. And then you make the 360 flip, and you know, when shit like this, once you see it, you understand they have that on people, they have dirt on it. You can tell this is why he's doing what he's doing, because eventually we have some type of case against him. That's why he changed his name to Tariq Nasheed. So it's a bunch of people playing characters. So this name Tariq Nasheed is just nothing but a character name, and now he's doing the same old crap, the xenophobic and all the disrespect against indigenous American. Because when I said American, I'm talking about the entire continent. I'm talking about all the Caribbeans, all South America, all North America, all of it. We all American. This is a continent, because once we were the empire at one point, the empire operates on the entire continent. So that's what we were. We would never consider ourselves the way that they create borders to call, oh, he's Haitian, he's American. No. When you said you're American, this is a term that identified to the empire. That means the entire continent, we are one people. But this guy doing otherwise, and then he trying to bring divisions among us. And then the final one, as these agents of this.
So Boosie Latham, they ask what thoughts on Tariq. I presume they mean Tariq Nasheed. Is he about education or capital? I would suspect that you would kind of lump or place Tariq Nasheed in the same box as say a Boyce Watkins or Umar Johnson or someone like that. Am I correct in assuming that?
The fact that Tariq Nasheed has any status or standing in any black circles is an indictment of black people. This piece of shit said that slavery was better for black women than it was for black men because the black woman could give up some pussy and manipulate the slave master. Man, fuck that dude. And anybody that watches his movies or has anything to do with him, I mean, you're disrespecting our ancestors and you're disrespecting yourself having any level of affiliation. I don't think he's even anybody worthy of discussing. Fuck Tariq and his pimpology and all that other nonsense. I've never seen any of those goddamn Hidden Color movies or that gay erotic film that he made, you know, trying to deal with his repressed or unanswered desires or whatever the hell's going on in his sick mind. I think this dude should not be able to dwell in any black spaces. I think it is tragic, and it is enraging to me that this man has any statement, judging from many of the statements. That's just one of many unacceptable things that he's said. Many. And what's going to happen is, which it confuses the hell out of me, Tariq is going to say something to run afoul of the feminists. He's going to say something to run afoul of Jewish people or the Zionists. He's going to say something to run afoul of gay people. And when he gets canceled, there are going to be a number of black people to stand up and say, well, he said all these horrible things about blacks and didn't get canceled. As if we expect those other communities, many of which are hostile to us, to have more respect for us and to protect our dignity before we do. This is one of them pieces of shit that should have been canceled before gay, Jews, or anybody else ever heard of them. They should have already been persona non grata in our community. But then when other people say, well, we're not going to take disrespect, what are we doing? Asking other races or other communities to take the disrespect that we're willing to take? Or asking them to defend our dignity before they defend their own? Or as we fail to do so? So if anybody, I mean, I hate that dude's name come up. And I don't think his name or his physical presence should be allowed anywhere among the, it's just amazing to me that we've allowed some black men to build entire careers on disrespecting African women, our ancestors, and the overall black community. I mean, I ain't saying he could. He is about the capital, but he shouldn't be able to give money over here. You know, he can go make minstrel films with white folks. He shouldn't be able to do anything related, but this dude is going to raise money and have a museum. That is low racial. We have low racial esteem. Our collective esteem, there's something fucking wrong there. He shouldn't be able to show his goddamn face, you know, in any place where dignified, conscious black men dwell.
Let me tell you something. Tariq Nasheed is controlled opposition. Okay? He is controlled opposition with a primary goal set for him by the white man. And that goal is to stay close enough to us to divide and conquer this portion of the diaspora, to alienate us from the rest of the black people on the diaspora and hand us with no protection to the descendants of our ancestors enslavers. That is Tariq Nasheed's primary goal, and he is going to be successful because you are allowing him to siphon the humanity right out of you. Do you know what it was that enabled the enslavers to do what they did to our ancestors? They did not believe our ancestors were human. And you're going to get on this whole World Wide Web and insinuate that any black person, any black life is not a human life? I don't want to be any part of that type of black. Ever. Do you understand? For you to be so willfully ignorant, so cruelly unjust. There is nothing about you that's familiar to me. Nothing. And I don't want any parts to do with you or anybody that thinks like you. Every black life is valuable. And I see me on this diaspora. I see me showing up. Take a look. I see me, the Sand Tribe. For those of you who force yourselves to only learn within the frame of white supremacy, Bushmen, I see me. And I would search many lifetimes over looking for them than to just accept that you and I might be some kin.
There's a reason that these people want to take Trump out so bad. What is that? Why do they want to take this man out so bad? Family, you don't get 3 assassination attempts within a couple of months. There's something they're trying to stop Trump from doing. Is Trump exposing the deep state? Is it the medical people with the wham-whams? You got to watch your words here on social media. You got to watch your words. Are some people with certain wham-whams and click-clicks, are they upset with Trump and they don't want Trump getting in front of that money?
You got to watch what you say on here. Are there corporations who's upset with Trump? Trump is talking about getting a lot of these illegals out of here, and that's a cheap source of labor, and a lot of the corporations need that. What's happening? Is that part of it? Is it the media? Because the media, they're not a real big fan of Trump. And Trump has been calling out the media and their shenanigans. So the left-wing media, you know, some of those media corporations, they have an issue with him. So a lot of the corporate bigwigs, they kind of have an issue with Trump. And Trump coming in, that might mess up a lot of their paper. That might mess up a lot of their paper. Also, some of these sexual agendas, they're not going to be promoted as much under Trump. And there's big money behind that. Also, understand this. Some of the sexual agenda stuff, family, that's tied into the medical industry. Go listen to a broadcast I did years ago talking about transhumanism. And also go look at the movie Buckbreaking. We talk about how the sexual agendas are clicked in with the whole transhumanism thing, where they're trying to merge humans with machines and AI, which is what they're doing now. That's very important because that's going to eventually tie into the medical field. They already have humans merging with AI. You know, Elon Musk, he got robots that's going to be for sale for like 20 grand. AI robots that you can talk to and interact with. I mean, the robots can help you fold clothes. You understand? Donald Trump did a chess move. See, Donald Trump deliberately did not institute policies to hurt foundational Black Americans. The Trump administration, they understood that we are the energy. They understood if we, foundational Black Americans, were massively against Trump, he would go down. It wouldn't pop off for him. So strategically, we have to understand strategy. Strategically, Trump deliberately has not, even in his first term, has not put together a policy to harm us. That was masterful because when he's hitting everybody else, if we aren't all agitated, they understand these movements aren't going to go anywhere. As you see, all of these other folks Trump has targeted, we ain't jumping up caping. So it's not affecting him.
So I just watched a video of Tariq Nasheed convincing Black people that Trump getting rid of DEI is a good thing. Because, one, Black people weren't the ones receiving the benefits from DEI. It was other groups. A new word I learned is tethers. Tethers and the flamboyant community was the ones that was for the most part receiving these benefits. Which, to that point, I'll say, I find that to be a little bit selfish. Just because it's not exclusively for Black people, then Black people are like, yeah, let's get rid of it. Not all Black people, you know what I mean? Like those ones that he's trying to convince. Like, yeah, let's get rid of it because it wasn't exclusively for us. And number two, this is the real kicker. This is the reason why I'm even making this video. His other excuse was the tethers and the flamboyant community don't show up for Black people when Black people need it. And I specifically remember getting enraged during the BLM marches at how many non-Black people was there. I remember going to the hood like, yo, we need to get out there. Like that, because the protest was in the hood for the most part, Black neighborhoods. And all the Black people was on the block, at least where I was at. All the Black, 9 times out of 10, I'm not trying to generalize. That's Tariq Nasheed's job. I'm trying to let y'all see the other side. 9 times out of 10, most of the Black people that was protesting during those BLM marches were people from outside the hood and other people that people like myself dragged to come along. You know what I mean? There was some people that felt passionate too. Don't get me wrong. There was some people that felt passionate, but there was a bunch of people that I was like, yo, this is embarrassing. Like, how is it that this is BLM, but and I wasn't mad at the white people. I was like, wow, like, that's what's up. Like, that's what's up, but it's embarrassing. I'm seeing more of you guys than the people that you guys are actually trying to fight for. I had a whole argument with people about that. And then another thing that I remember, and I point this out all the time, some of y'all can get mad, and I'm not calling, let me just say it. I do notice that when the riots and stuff was happening, though, that was all black people. You know what I mean? Actually, not for the most part, 9 times out of 10. And I'm not saying it was FBAs. I'm just saying, those were black people. You know what I mean? For the most part. And I'm like, yo, bro, like, I'm calling it as I see it. And I didn't see a bunch of white boys jumping and stealing makeup products and all that other stuff. I saw a few Hispanics, but for the most part, 9 times out of 10, those BLM marches, the ones that I was like, damn, there's so many white people here. Where the blacks at? There was no white people when they was doing the riot. And I ain't trying to cape, you know what I mean? I'm not standing. I know I sound crazy right now, because even but the truth is the truth, you know what I mean? Sometimes it hurts. I'm not trying to cape for nobody. I see videos, white people doing a ton of messed up stuff, Spanish people doing messed up stuff, black people doing messed up stuff. But at the end of the day, like, him trying to say, oh, don't be sad that DEI is going away. It didn't benefit us anyway. That's like selfish. Like, I could understand, like, if DEI was promised to black people and black people are like, yo, nah, like, and now black people are like, oh, damn, everybody else is coming in. That is true in other circumstances, from my understanding. I could be wrong. You know what I mean? If diversity, equity, and inclusion was started specifically for black people and out of nowhere others started to be able to take advantage of it, then correct me if I'm wrong. But if it was never intended for black people, I can understand if you want that, but that doesn't mean everybody else shouldn't get it just because you couldn't get it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not, and I know there's systemic things that stop you from getting certain things. Other communities are put ahead of black people. And you know what I mean? Like, I get that. You feel me? Like, I'm living that. I see what's going on. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to turn around and say, oh, the gay shouldn't have it because I couldn't have it. Like, that's kind of wrong, bro. That's wrong, man. That's crazy, bro. I'm seeing Tariq Nasheed go down this crazy rabbit hole, and I see all the support. Hey, shout out to y'all. I just appreciate y'all listening to the video. You know what I mean? I don't care if you agree, you don't agree. It's TikTok anyway. I don't really care much. So, yeah, I mean, appreciate y'all for watching, but the truth hurts, man. Yeah, I mean, hurt dogs holler. Let me know what you think about this down in the...
Let's be clear. We got a lot. I've had a lot of non-FBA brothers and sisters hit me up. Hey, man, we want to come to the rally for reparations. We're going to support. We're 100% down, and I love that. And that being the case, that's fine, but we do have a tether problem. We do have some people who are from the diaspora who come over here, and they ain't riders like you guys, unfortunately. And unfortunately, you guys haven't been able to neutralize that threat for us, because we've said, hey, man, why don't y'all get your folks, man? They talking kind of reckless. And unfortunately, y'all have not been able to do anything to them. And we've warned folks, hey, man, you better get them before we get them. Get your people before we get them. Because when we get them, you know, there might be some casualties of war here. Some people who ain't on that, they might get hit with a couple of shrapnel pieces here and there, unfortunately. But that's war.
To say it, but it seems like dating sisters is becoming goddamn dangerous. Especially if you're an upscale dude or a man of means. Dating sisters now, unfortunately, has become somewhat of a dangerous task. Even if you're not a rich guy or an upscale guy, just a guy in general, dating a lot of sisters right now is becoming life-threatening. I get tired of hearing people say, oh, how come the black man is dating this woman and not dating sisters? How come so many sisters? Stop that shit. You know, it's very dangerous to date sisters these days. You have to worry about getting set up. And I've been hearing about people getting set up every other fucking day now. And let's say you're just a hustler. If you're a hustler, you got to worry about sisters snitching on you. That was a story that came out last week. The informant rate has gone up a lot. There's been a high rate of police informants popping up because the economy is so bad. They're mostly sisters who need money or just snitching on niggas in the hood. The police are saying this. There was an article. I got to find that article, and I'll have it posted up on UnitedPlayersOfAmerica.com. But the cops are saying, like, damn, we got informants coming out the woodworks right now. These sisters are telling on everybody, and that's who it is. So even if you are a hustler, it's very dangerous to get sisters in your circle right now. And I'm not shitting on sisters, but I'm just saying you have to understand where brothers are coming from when they say, you know what, I'm going to have to take a pass on you for a minute.
70 hours, ladies and gentlemen. We need the family to get involved. We need everybody to get involved. The clock is ticking. We're a little over the halfway mark. I think we're at 1:30 right now, I think. So we're a little over the halfway mark. So we need everybody to go to Kickstarter. You can go there by going to hiddencolor6.com, and there's a link for Kickstarter. Hit that Kickstarter link. Get involved with the film Hidden Color 6. It will not get done without the help of the family. So we need you. Every little bit counts. You put 10, 20, 50, whatever you can put. Every little bit helps, ladies and gentlemen. All right? hiddencolor6.com. All right? The clock is ticking. All right, I think we had a good conversation on this broadcast. Respect to the family. All right, we'll chop it up tomorrow as usual. Everybody will get busy. And look, we got, we have spaces at night. We have a couple of thousand people in here, and then we have thousands of people listening to the playback. So really all it takes is a lot of people just doing a little. If everybody just kicked in a little, that's it. Just at the same time, it'll get where we need it to get. Yeah. So we need to ask the white T man. No. Why? Why we got to do that? Excuse me. Yeah. Why we got to do that? Yeah. We got to get off that. Yeah. We can do whatever we need to do on our own. Yeah. We can do whatever we need to do on our own. It's very important that we do these things on our own. Especially the Hidden Color series, especially that story from our perspective. If we get money from the white tea people, we're going to have to wear it down. That defeats the purpose. Yeah, I don't want money from the white tea people. If I could do that, that's easy. I can go get a couple of $1 million from a white tea production company tomorrow to do a documentary on something, but they're going to crowbar, they're going to make me put all types of other stuff in it, which defeats the purpose. That defeats the whole purpose of it.
You need to really give yourself a round of applause, big brother.
Yes, sir.
All right, because you gave us FBA's a light in our eyes that we haven't seen in over 50 years, brother. All right. And a lot of the stuff that was happening to us, we didn't know that we kept letting these foreign invaders into our circles.
Yeah.
And when you woke up, what woke us up was Obama. You was the first person that called him out, brother.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I study you left and right. This is why I always support every damn excuse my language, every event, because you could have been living very palatially in Hollywood. You gave all of that up to come over here to us. And I'm gonna tell you like this, if we're not doing the minimum of, hey, when you tell us to jump, and we're not doing something like asking you how high, we failed. Because you've really been on our side from day one, man. And I just want you to give yourself a round of applause, because you, brother, not going to be long when there's just, we was pretty much dead after Dr. Khaled. And I don't think these people realize it. And this is why these tethers hate you, because now all the crime went down, all the delineation, and we got these hostile invaders out of our mix, man. And you're listen, you're at the point where we have to start calling you the Honorable Tariq Nasheed, brother. And I deeply appreciate you. I deeply appreciate you got big brother Dan, our sister Brooke. You got the squad, man. And I'm just going to ride with you for the rest of my life, man, because you are the greatest, man. And thank you so much for letting me up, man. I'm not going to land my plane, big brother. Thank you, man.
Man, I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate.
Let me tell y'all something. I've gotten calls from these white networks wanting to put me on and give me a real big bag to get on TV and get out here and start throwing black immigrants under the bus with them. You think they haven't hit me up, people? Y'all think these folks haven't hit me up? When I start saying that I agree with Trump, do y'all Google that? Google Tariq Trump. Look at all the right-wing publications that jumped on that. Look at all of them that jumped on that. And I'm talking about especially a person like me, as black as I am. They would love for me to join with them to dump on some black immigrants.
FBA is a white supremacist anti-black movement masquerading as black empowerment. Tariq Nasheed and all of them can go to hell. Instead of focusing on Tyree Nichols and him being brutally deleted and police brutality, you guys are more focused on whether or not they're black immigrants or not. They're so anti-black. They are resorting to white supremacist scientific racism, saying they can't be black American because of the circumference and diameter of their heads and their hairlines. You got another one right here that says them hairlines ain't native. Instead of focusing on the situation at hand, you instantly go into a diaspora war and care about whether or not it fits your white supremacist anti-black viewpoints of black immigrants. Screw you, and don't complain when them lights get turned on you.
The founder's a pimp, and you play right into the hands of white supremacy. Yo, I want to put this shit to sleep right now because I'm tired of foundational black Americans coming into my comment section fighting for their life. Now let's talk about 10 reasons why foundational black American ideology falls apart under pressure. Yeah, you're not going to like me for this one. Let's get into it. Reason number 1, selective history. They rewrite history thinking that it's a fan fiction, ignoring African resistance movements like the Haitian Revolution and Pan-African contributions to black liberation. Number 2, anti-black xenophobia. They promote unity only if you're born on U.S. soil. Yeah, they're letting that U.S. soil shit get them fucked up. That's not solidarity. That's nationalism dipped in anti-blackness. Number 3, erasing diasporic contributions. Marcus Garvey, Stokely Carmichael. Yeah, they're not FBA, but they help shape your entire viewpoint of how to fight for liberation. Number 4, they promote division, not power. You don't build power by dividing the oppressed. That's colonizer logic. Number 5, they have no global strategy. They talk about global reparations, but reject global black alliances. Make that make sense. Number 6, misunderstanding of identity. Being black in America is not the same as being only American. Your bloodline did not start on Ellis Island. Reason number 7, economic illusion. They think that reparations will fix oppression while ignoring capitalism, systemic racism, and generational trauma. Reason number 8, weaponized victimhood. Real pain, real struggle, but it's all weaponized to gatekeep identity instead of building community. Reason number 9, the disrespect for the elders and the ancestors. Pan-Africanism was born out of survival, and to dismiss that dishonors your own lineage. Then there's number 10. It plays right into white supremacy. Divide and conquer. That's the playbook. In FBA, you're running the routes, and white supremacy is playing quarterback. And this is a bonus. Number 11. Your founder, he's a pimp. Once he learned the game, he never changed, and now he's pimping you. Bottom line, FBA wants unity only on their terms. And you can't fight the oppressor when you're a carbon copy in blackface.
We never cut a paperwork deal to legitimize.
Let me ask you a question then. What was the American Colonization Society?
That was a whole bunch of white supremacists and a couple of their Sambos, sending a handful of people over there to Liberia.
In what year?
Most of us didn't go. Who gives a shit? Most of us didn't go over there.
That's
weren't
not
with
the
that.
question. You said you never cut a deal with the white supremacists. You did. In 1826, you did.
No, we didn't.
You did. So let me finish.
No.
See?
Oh, how? No, see, nothing. We didn't cut no deal.
I'll tell you how.
No. Most of us.
Why are you freaking out? I'll tell you how. Let's have a cordial conversation.
So your lying is mute. Whatever lie.
It's not a lie. It's objective reality. But just let me finish.
No, it's moot. It's moot.
Okay. Just let me finish. So in 1826. A bunch of foundational black Americans went to the American Colonization Society that was headed by James Monroe and James Madison. And they asked for resources to go back to Africa and have a colony there. James Monroe and James Madison gave them the resources to go back to Africa, and they did. You guys were the original fleeing tethers, not to mention, you guys were the original fleeing tethers. The original ones.
Yeah, that's so ridiculous.
What's the capital of Liberia?
Yeah, most of us didn't.
Monrovia, because of James Monroe.
Yeah, most of us weren't with it. So yeah,
First of all, happy Black History Month. I'm proud to be black. I'm proud of my skin. I'm proud of my hair. And if I could be reborn, I'd choose to be black 1,000 times over. But today, I'd like to speak on something a little bit different. There's a group of people who are trying to push division within the black community for no good reason. FBA, or Foundational Black Americans, is a group of people who believe that being black stems directly from having ancestors who were enslaved. In particular, ancestors who were enslaved within America. They believe that people who immigrated from Africa and people who immigrated from the Caribbean aren't black because being black is a wholly American experience. To those people, we're going to go through history to show you why your mindset is both ignorant and reductive to the black experience as a whole. But before we do that, I'm going to propose a thought experiment to put this into perspective. Let's say we have two people, one who is of African American descent and one who is of Nigerian descent, and both get pulled over by a cop. When a cop looks at them, do you think a cop asks whether this is an African American or a Nigerian? Or do they just see someone who's black? In a court of law, do you think someone of Nigerian descent gains more privilege over someone who is of African American descent? Beliefs like this stem from ignorance, and there's no other way to slice it, because the truth of the matter is people from the outside in will look at us as the same people regardless of our ancestors. This argument is so silly because at the end of the day, someone who was born in America and the parents came from Africa, and a person who had family that has been in America for generations, they're going to be looked at the same by literally everyone else. Whether you're from Africa, whether you're from the Caribbean, whether you were born in America, raised in America, you are looked at as black no matter what. The division only helps to make us weaker as a whole. Because whether you guys like it or not, being black is defined by our shared ancestry, our shared history, and our ties, our ancestors' ties to the African continent. You aren't made more black because you have 1.3% Irish in your DNA. That doesn't even make sense. That's literally going in the opposite direction. Truth of the matter is, being black is a multifaceted, extremely complex experience. To go back in history, the transatlantic slave trade impacted literally all of our ancestors. Jamaicans, Haitians, Barbadians, Nigerians, Cameroonians, all of us. Have you ever asked yourself why the Caribbean is predominantly black? It's quite likely for the same reason that there are African Americans that were brought to the USA. They happened at the same time. If I went into depth in how bad the transatlantic slave trade was, we would be here all day. Have you ever asked yourself why different African countries speak English and some speak French? All of our ancestors survived probably the worst event in history. It didn't just stop when it got to America. It continued in the Caribbean, it continued in Africa, it kept on perpetuating over and over and over again. The effects of it are still felt to this very day, not just within America, within the Caribbean, within Africa as well. The point of this video is to say that being black cannot be defined as one thing. Colonialism impacted all of us differently. The impacts of colonialism are still felt all over the world. The FBA movement is quite literally trying to push division in the same way as when our ancestors got took across the ocean into different continents. And that is so utterly crazy to me because we are literally moving in the same direction that we're trying to heal from. Again, the impacts of colonialism were felt throughout the world. All of our ancestors went through hell. If you're from Africa or you're from the Caribbean, that is a fact. The beauty in being black is that even though we have the same skin color, we are different. We're different, and that is true. We have different cultures, we have different family names, we are different. But it's that difference that allows us to come together as one. It's that difference that stems from our shared ancestors having gone down different paths. Instead of fighting against each other, why not love each other, man? Why not embrace each other's cultures? Why not treat each other with love and respect? Because at the end of the day, when we look through our history, we are one people. Yes, some people with very different experiences. Yes, some people with very different lives. That's as a result of an event that impacted all of us and still impacts all of us today. The point of this video is that being black is not just from being American. Being black is an extremely complex history that we all feel the ramifications of today. And because the world looks at us as the same, why not embrace our differences and come together as one? Not to erase the differences that make us unique, but to come together and say, hey, we are black. Whether from America or Africa, we are awesome. Color of our skin, which was used to tear our ancestors down, and something that still is used today, is something that we should be proud of as a collective. The system views us and treats us as all the same, so why not embrace the similarities, embrace the differences, and come together as one people, stronger than ever. Love your neighbor, man. We gotta do better.
Sis, to be really honest, like, I was trying to join FBA, right? When I did not believe people when they said that this was a hate group. I did not. But it took me to join FBA on TikTok to see what type of people these people are, bro. I'm telling you, in the next couple of days, it's going to be a whole lot of videos from this from this FBA TikTok community, bro. It is so toxic. I'm going to tell, bro. I'm going to tell my story, bro. Seriously. This FBA group is a very wicked, hateful group. They seriously are. They are, and it's not a joke. They are, and they will get exposed. Babe, to be honest, he is definitely, based on how these people act and how these people operate in their groups, baby. It's given very much that this is a hate group, and that's really their goal. Is not really reparations. Their goal is to try to act like they're better than everybody else and to disrespect people from third world countries or people who come from underdeveloped countries and make it seem like they have no culture and make it seem like they're the ones with all the culture, when it's the exact opposites. It's the Caribbeans and the Africans that have the culture.
No disrespect to the movement, but that FBA shit is a fucking psyop. Like, Craig, literally, that shit is just white supremacy in black wrapping paper. No, like, if, ands, or buts about it. Because every single time I see one of them motherfuckers getting in a tizzy with somebody, it's always about some ignorant shit that somebody said, that if you would actually, like, use your brain, a little bit of critical thinking, and maybe one Google search, you will find that y'all come from the same goddamn place. And you look like this, goddamn it. We all probably came from the same place. Let's get into it. Straight took me 3 Google searches. Pause and read. Now, hopefully you actually paused and read that shit. And if you did, one common theme between all 3 of them shits. We arrived at the islands due to the transatlantic slave trade. And where were we taken from? Central and West Africa. Wow. So we're all in the same fucking place. We just ended up in different areas of the world, bro. Like, the division quite literally makes no sense. The diaspora wars make no sense. That shit is a psyop, bro. Them niggas is seeing how easy it is for you to turn on your next nigga just because you find some way to make yourself feel more superior. And niggas like this, niggas like this, make it abundantly clear that that shit is working. The only thing we really can do is call dumb fucks like that out and make sure that they know the shit that they're doing is stupid. Because again, we all come from the same goddamn place and they're just trying to pit us against each other for whatever fucking reason they can find, right? You don't even know who started that shit. It's probably a white nigga in the fucking CIA cubicle just try to find some bullshit. Cause you already know, nigga, the motherfuckers that work at the CIA are all Mormons, and all Mormons think that black people are fucking demons, basically. We all have the mark of Cain and some stupid shit. So they're literally just trying to find any way to make us want to kill each other, or fucking fight each other for anything. And you're playing into that shit. Point and laugh, nigga.
Okay, so I wanted to talk about the rise of like the FBA movement / the anti-black immigrant sentiment that I've seen lately on social media. Now I'm not too sure where this came from, but me personally, I first encountered this maybe back in like 2023, I believe, on Twitter. So it was a Twitter space, and this Twitter space was about how immigrants are essentially affecting Black Americans and how they are maybe taking away certain opportunities from Black Americans. This wasn't focused on any particular group of immigrants, but then later on in the space, it did shift to Black immigrants in particular and how they may be taking things away from Black Americans. And I would also like to add, while this Twitter space was going on, like, there were Africans and Black Americans literally yelling slurs at one another through the phone. There were even white conservatives that literally came up there as well. Even the Fresh and Fit guy came up there as well. Like, I'm not too sure. Yes, the Fresh and Fit guy, of course, he was on the side of the Africans. You know, he's East African. I don't remember what the conservative guy was doing, but girl, they were in there and it was very, very messy. And there was a huge fallout from this space. And mind you guys, this was a space that went on for over 24 hours. So this is from like where I noticed a lot of this propaganda started to rise was from that day. Because if you were there, you would know that like Tariq Nasheed came in there. There was a lot going on. A lot of people came in there that day. And so from there, I started seeing a lot more Black American people referring to themselves as foundational Black American. And so I noticed that a lot of them were trying to distance themselves from Africa and talk about how, you know, they were already here and stuff like that. They were also native to the land of America, things of that nature. Which, mind you, that claim is getting so bad, I'm starting to see Native Americans have to come out and, like, refute that claim and say, like, no, girl, like, respectfully, we are the original natives. But I noticed this very strong push to separate and create a distinction between Black Americans who are descendants from slavery versus, you know, everybody else. Which I absolutely agree with the fact that we are very different, but we also, of course, have a lot of similarities, right? But I don't necessarily think making that distinction in a certain context is productive. Like making that distinction in a conversation about the betterment and the advancement of any Black people, period, regardless of where they're from in the diaspora, that's not a useful conversation because at the end of the day, we all have the same enemy. So it's like, what are we making that distinction for? Why are we making this separation? Again, all of it just feels very anti-African, and it just feels like, again, propaganda for more division, for more divide and conquer. So please, let's all respect one another. We all have our own culture, Black American people included, okay? And we all descend from the same place. All love. That's it.
Well, this is gonna ruffle some feathers, but I'd like to read a book. First, they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the JEWs, and I did not speak out because I was not a JEW. And then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. This was written by a Protestant pastor during the Holocaust, and it still rings true today. See, xenophobia is a tool of white supremacy. It is, and it always has been. And you have allowed your xenophobia, your need to delineate, to fuel you and Black Americans to be tethered to our version of oppression. This is not an aha moment. This is not an I told you so moment. This is deeply terrifying. Because while there is a country for me to be deported back to, this hate and hatred for immigrants that has distracted you into forgetting that you have always been their true enemy is what has led to them now having a tool to displace and disenfranchise even more Black Americans. Please understand that. Look at the cities that are being hit. These are not cities that have a high Black immigrant population. These are Black American cities. Wake up. They simply use your hate for us to distract you while they created this perfect weapon to use against you. And you help them. Please understand that.
A lot of y'all foundational black Americans are just losers who want to be white. You want the socioeconomic capacity to subjugate another group. You don't actually care about the plight of the black community because if you actually studied black history, you would understand that the fight for liberation has always been multicultural. With Mexicans hiding slaves from the Underground Railroad, you have Chicanos and the Brown Berets marching during the Civil Rights Movement, and then Latinos for BLM in modern times. It's ignorant as black Americans to say that this isn't our fight when we've seen federal officers abuse black people. Generalizing other demographics as anti-black is counterproductive because they're not a monolith same way black people are not a monolith. And it's crazy to say that I'm not black because do you think the police are going to give me a free pass because my family are migrants from the Caribbean? Do you think that's how that works?
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?
Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! We most definitely cannot forget about the people of Sudan!
Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.